Okay. Okay. So on this part, first we have to create the OD so we can face it. So this is what we have to create on the construction plane top. The diameter size, which is going to be this size right here, this is 1.906. So we're going to create a 1096. And look at the thickness is 297. So we're going to create a rectangle with that thickness. 297 is going to be our width, and height is going to be 1.906 divided by 2. That's going to be our height. And this hole right here is 0.88, which is this hole right here. And we can also do that on the construction plane top. So that's going to be for our facing OD rough turning. Then we're going to drill and we're going to bore it. So let's go ahead and start with that. And okay. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and start drawing that. So I'll start drawing this part right here first on the construction plane top. This is going to be my dimension for the diameter, and this is going to be for 880 is going to be hole, which is this hole right there, this guy right there. Okay, so here is that part. And this is what I'm telling you to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and C axis. We're going to change that and go to the top view. This is what you see here. And this drawing is based on this right here. The diameter is 1.906. This is the circle we're going to have. So we have to rough it out and turn this to this diameter, 1.906. And this is going to be the thickness. So what you guys do, you just go ahead. If I'm going to go to level, I'll pick up level 3 here, turn this guy level off. So your drawing is going to be something like this. You're going to go to rectangle and say rectangle. We're going to start from origin, go up to here. And here comes my width. That width is this guy right here, 297 is your width. And then height is going to be 0.906 divided by 2, this guy right there. So let's put our width over here, minus 0.297. And my height is going to be 1.906 divided by 2. There you go. So this is going to be my diameter. I'm going to face this, and I'm going to go ahead and rough that. This is something you guys have to do. And look out for this hole right here, guys. For this hole, 1.880 hole right there. That's this hole right here. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to create a line, horizontal, there to there. And that distance is going to be 880. If you look at the diameter of the hole is 880 right there. So 880 divided by 2. 0.88 divided by 2 is going to be 440. That's what this line is going to be. And then I can just go ahead and divide this line, get rid of this, get rid of this. There we go. So this is what we're going to do. When we're going to do, we're going to face this, and we're going to turn this, and we're going to drill and bore. So these are just operations right here. I'm not going to redraw it. I already have that drawn. I'm just showing you guys how to do it. I'm going to just go ahead and undo it, undo it, undo, undo. And if you look under level, level 1. That's my drawing right there. So this here is your lathe face, lathe rough, lathe finish, lathe drill, lathe rough, and lathe finish. That's going to be all this operation starting from 1 to 6. These are your operations. You're going to just go ahead and uh, finish the face this rough, and there comes your finish pass. And we're going to drill it. There you go, that's your drill. And then bore OID rough and finish. There's your finish. So that's what you guys have to do with this part right here. Tool number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Face, rough, finish, drill, rough, and finish. So if you're going to verify this part is right there. There you go. This width here is 297, but I went too far out here, so we can cut it off right there. That's why we on the OD diameter, when you rough and finish the OD, we went a little bit too far out. So we have room here to use our parting tool so we can cut it off. If you look at the geometry in the red here, that is 297. It's right here. That's this guy right there, 297. But on our program, in our toolpath, we're going to go a little far out so I can turn this little over so I can go ahead and cut it off right there. That's what it is. You see it. And this is going to be in your, this is going to be in your toolpath, rough and finish under your lead in and lead out. If you look at here, see lead out, we are going 250 extra over here, extending it 250, which is your tool is going 250 extra over here. So under lead in, lead out, just go under lead out and extend that to 250, which is going to be this extension. Your tool is going to come up to here. It's going to extend another 250. There we go. If you look at the tool, finish and bore, and that's your parting tool. So that tools is going to go 250 further out over here. There we go. Look at that. It's coming 250 out here. So we go extra on that. Rough and finish both. So this is something you guys have to do it. So that's that tool. Then rough here, and then you finish, and then drill. And drill size we are using drilling 750 drill. If you look at here, the hole size is 880. This hole right there. We're going to use drill 750 drill and then finish with the boring bar. So this hole we're going to drill that 750. That's what you see here. You see that drill 750 drill. That is going to. I just skipped the center drill here. If you want, you guys can add a center drill also, but I just use the drill. And look at the parameters. We are going minus 500,000 plus the tip on the depth. So it's going further in all the way, clear that hole up to here. Look at that. There we go. If you look at the drill, It comes all the way up to here. Here we go. So if you look at Z, we're so far deep in, so that it can clear all this, and this is going to stop right there. And that's where I'm going to have my boring bar is going to come and bore this. So go Z deep, a little further out. And like I said, that we are going Z minus 500 plus another, the tip, 522, 22 in the depth. All right, so that is going to be your drill, and then comes your boring bar right here, rough and finish. That's is your geometry is single chain, just one chain is going to just use this, and it's going to bore that. If you look at here, it's going to bore that right there, body rough. Here's your rough boring bar. It's going to start roughing. Parameters right there. Rough parameters. I'll say use stock for outer boundary. There we go. Okay, it's gonna. Oh, we have to drill that first. Later. Select all and regenerate. There you go. That's good. Later up. We have to use later, rough, and finish. There you go. And then you finish. Perfect. So that finishes this part right there. And then comes your C-axis stuff right here. Toolpath number 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. C-axis. So looking at C-axis, we're going to go to level, and level 3, we're going to turn level 2 and 3 off. And there comes your C-axis on the right side plane. There you go. And this time I have drawn C-axis geometry at Z0. I have drawn that at Z0. If you look at here, so everything has drawn at Z0. If you remember the last couple of projects we did, we drew that Z minus over here at the depth, which is going to be the thickness of the part, which is this guy here. So we have drawn at Z minus 0.297 all the geometry over here, because this is going to be the depth of this. But this time we're going to maintain the depth in the program. We have all the geometry drawn at Z0 at over here on the face. So that's what you see it over here. We have drawn everything at Z0. So when we're going to contour this, this is going to be your C-axis face contour, this tool here, and we are using 1/2 inch flat end mill. So when you're going to run that, look at this, it's going to cut, and Z minus, looking from the front plane, look at the Z we are maintaining. It's going multiple depth, maybe 2 or 3 passes. There we go, 3 passes. And that Z is maintained in your parameters. If I'll show you the parameters, look at the parameters.
Professor, one question.
Yeah.
I had an issue with this last project. I was getting this issue with what's it called? the angle, I guess, in which I was making my geometry. I was wondering like, what's the like, where do I draw like each thing that's like, for example, in this project, like let's say the square area where we have the 1.468, 1.038, the holes. Like, where would that go? Would that be in the top, in the front?
All these holes?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, this is going to go on the right side plane, the way you see it.
Right side plane. Okay, that was my.
Oh, yes, not on the top. No, no, no.
Yeah, that's where I was having issues with my project yesterday.
No, no, these are face drills, and these are going to go on the right side plane, the way you see it right here. The way you see on the right plane. Look at this, all the holes are on the right plane.
And the rest would be in the front.
The only
the depth?
the depth of this part, you mean?
Yes.
No, it's going to still on the right plane. Look at this. Let me go ahead and draw this.
Oh, I'm
Hold
sorry.
on.
Like the machining part, that part. That's
Yeah, the depth the depth is going to be in also on the right plane. That how deep you are cutting in. It's not going to be in the top plane. It's still in the right plane.
but that right there is like the top, isn't it? So right there,
This
it's
is
top.
yeah. This is a top. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
this is a top. We take care of this stuff on the top. Just drawing this, cutting this like the 5 tool path I show you. Face it, OD rough, OD finish, drill and bore. That takes care on the top part. That's your regular lathe operations. Face it, OD rough turn, OD finish turn, drill it and bore it. That's your regular standard lathe operations. But when we go on a C-axis on the side, we talk about milling stuff on the C-axis.
Right.
This is going to go on the right plane, and this is all milling, just like your mill. This is your C-axis stuff now.
Okay.
So it has to be on the right plane. Construction plane is going to be on the right.
All right. So, and the machining and everything, the
It's
WCS is all
going to
going to
be
be on the right.
all on the right plane. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Yeah, I was having an issue with that yesterday. Thank you, sir.
No problem. If you look under C-axis face contours, so the parameters, you go here under planes, you look at here, upper left, this is going to be on my top. The plane doesn't matter. Actually, we can go to right plane.
Oh,
Here,
okay. I can still fix that.
there we go. It comes your right plane right there. And you can go to the
Sure.
right plane. So this is going to be two path, yes, regenerate. Look at that. It's cutting that. So now your spindle does not is going to sync with your x and C axis with the spindle. Your tool now, this guy right here, the yellow tool, now it's turning at 2000 RPM. It's working as just like a mill. If you look under mill, it works like this, same thing. Looking from like that, it's worked like the mill. But it's cutting on the lathe on your right hand plane, like just like this. That makes sense? I'm going to go ahead and draw this so you guys can see it. So let's go to the right plane here. So what you guys do on this, on the right plane, I'll go to level. I'm going to turn, let's use level 3 and turn all these level off here. So I'm going to draw this, the way you see this is what you have to draw on the right plane. Exactly same thing, same dimensions. So let's follow this. So I'm going to start with the rectangle. The rectangle is, or square is 906. So I'm going to start drawing with the 906. No, 906 is the diameter. I don't have to draw this. I use this 906 to draw this outside. So we don't need that. We have to draw this, which is 1.468 by 1.468 rectangle and has a corner radius 219. So let's do that. I'm going to go to make sure I'm construction plane right, stay on 2D, and I'm at Z0. So I'll start my rectangular shape and it's going to be 1.468. Hit the tab key, 1.468, and it's going to be the right on the center origin. I'm going to put right on the center, and that's my rectangle, and I already have a radius over here, 0.219, and hit OK. I'm going to change the color. Hold the shift key, right click, change the color to red, and I'm going to change the color also, my system color also to the red. Okay, so I got that, and then my holes, 4 holes, is 1.038 divided by 2. So I'm going to create a circle, and circle center point is going to be 1.038 divided by 2. Okay, sorry. What happened? Minus 1.038 divided by 2, comma, same thing, 1.038 divided by 2. That's going to be right there. That's my dimension. And these holes are 205, diameter 0.205. So that hole, and then I can just go ahead and mirror that hole, transform, mirror this hole to the y-axis, hit OK, then pick this guy and this guy, mirror this to over here. Right click, clear colors. So you have that, and look at this, I'm drawing at Z0. I'm drawing right at Z0 on construction plane right. Okay, go to right plane, and then I don't have to draw this whole circle because we did this on the top plane. That hole is your 880. We don't have to worry about that. But now I'm gonna draw those lines. So wireframe, and go to line endpoints, freeform line. I'm gonna draw a line right there. So this angle is gonna be, if you look at it, these angles are 20 degrees. So if this is 20 degree here, this is 45 degree, 20 degree, that's 25 degrees. So this is going to be, from here to here is going to be 25 degree. This is 20 degree, and this is 45 degree. So this angle is 25 degrees. So put this angle 25 degrees. Okay, that sounds right. And then I'm going to have another line over here. That angle is going to be, we have another 20 degrees. So we have from here to here, we have 20, 45 degree, and 20, that's 65 degree. So this angle is going to be 65. There you go. All right, I want to trim this, so let's draw a circle here anyway. We don't need that, but we can draw the circle. That circle diameter is 880. This guy right here is 880, because I want to trim this line to that circle. That's the only reason I got that. So put that diameter 880. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and divide this, get rid of this, 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 and this. And I want to draw another line. I'm going to tell you why. That line is not here, but I need that to mill that, use that geometry to mill that. So that line is going to be right from the center up to here. And that angle is going to be 45 degrees. Use that line to mill that material over here. I'll show you why. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to go divide and get rid of that. So now I'm going to pick this line, and this line and transform. And I'm going to rotate that. All these three. I'm going to rotate 360 divided by 4. And I need 3 of these. I need 3 of those. Hit OK. And clear colors. Right click, clear colors. So that finishes my drawing actually. This is what I have earlier. If you look at the level 2 here, it's the same thing. That's, look at that. Both are same geometry right here, green and red. That's what I have just created. So that's how you have to draw it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my level 3 off. I'm going to keep level 2. So I'm going to show you the tool path on that. So this is basically how what you have to draw this on the construction plane, right? Now going to tool path. Oh, come on. Okay, so here C-axis face contour is going to be this right here. C-axis face contour, and this is my geometry. I'm going to select that geometry right there. So if you look at tool path, C-axis face contour, I'm going to go to right plane. I can start from here. You have to pick chain, then you have to pick the next chain here. You have to pick the next chain, next chain, next chain, next chain, next chain, next chain, and say end of the chain. And hit OK. Now here your tool we're going to use 1/2 inch flat end mill. That's my tool. And cut parameters here, cutter compensation, I'm going to go to the left. In the computer, go to the left. And here comes my, we'll come back on multiple paths, so we'll talk that later on. Here comes my linking parameters. Now look at the depth. Depth cannot be incremental. From absolute, how deep I want to cut, that's what it is. So if you look at here, this is my part, and from here, how deep I want to cut, that depth is right here, 297. That's my depth, how deep, that's how deep I want to cut. But I want to go a little further out because I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off anywhere. So let's say I'm gonna use my depth minus point. If you say 297, we can go 297, we can go even 400, doesn't matter. So let's say we're gonna go minus, let's go 297, then we can change that, that's not a problem. In absolute means from 0, from the face, going in is 297, which is my thickness of the part. Okay, absolute, absolute, in absolute, everything is in absolute. Last time we were doing an incremental because our drawing was drawn at Z minus. That's why we, an incremental, when you select your drawing at that depth, your incremental depth is going to be always 0. Here I have drawn this on the face. So from the face Z0, I have to maintain my depth. So I put 297. I'm going to top up the stock in absolute is 0. And we'll come back and talk about multiple passes, depth of cut. Just go ahead and do one pass right now. And you can see it. Look at this. So if you look from the right side, the depth, this is how deep it went in from 0. So if you look at the tool path, I'm going to go ahead and say turn that, and I'll turn the tool off. Look at this, how it's going to cut it. It's going to cut, and it's cutting that deep in the right side plane. There we go. Now I can go different Z depth. So that's where you can change your depth over here. Depth cut, I want to go 200,000 each pass or 125,000 each pass. So it's going to go 3 passes. Let's say 0.150 each pass. And how many steps? It's going to go 3 steps or 2 steps right here. It's going to go 2 steps. It's going to go first step. There you go. That's 2 passes. So we can also go and lead in, lead out. We can turn that on. So it will move with the lead in and lead out. Length, let's say I'll go 50% of the tool. Which is going to be 250. Same thing here. And we can go use the same numbers here. Just click on that. So that's going to be lead in, lead out. And you can see this is your lead in and lead out. Look at this, how your tool is going to come at a angle, lead the radiuses into the part. There you go. And it can cut your part like this. There you go. So if you're going to go to verify this, you can see it, how it's going to cut. There, look at that. It's going to cut one pass. That's going to cut another pass. Look at that. That's Z depth. So just like Z, you can do your multiple passes also. We can control our multiple passes. I want to go, let's say, 2 rough and 1 finish. For 2 rough, I can keep about 100,000. And for finish, I can leave about 20,000 for finish. So now you can see it's going to rough and finish. Here, look at that. It's going to go rough pass here. Look at the one rough. And that comes you another pass right here. There we go. So that's what you have to do with face contour. And what we have done here on the face contour is right here. This is the same toolpath with 1/2 inch end mill. And look at this over here. Check out, regenerate, take that out. So this one is, we are doing three passes on this one. If you look at here, we are going depth cut, we're going 125 pass, that's fine, multiple passes. This is only one multiple pass, okay. We can do rough and finish on this one too. Two multiple passes, let's do one rough and one finish. This we can go 100,000, this we can go finish past about 25,000. There you go. No operation selected, okay. There you go, depth. Another, see the two passes right here. Another rough. And this is going to be another depth. Here we go. So we can do multiple passes over here. We can do one rough, one finish, and then we go depth cut. We can go only two depth cut. We can go maximum 1.200. It's going to go two passes only instead of three. Look at here, we can go, and there you go. Look at that Z depth. We're going to go one rough. Rough and finish. Then it's going to go another depth. There you go. So two rough, multiple passes, and one finish. Here you go. Using 1/2 inch end mill, cutting outside, using computer to the left. Make sure your cutter has to be to the left. That's very important, guys. When you select that, you have to go in this direction. Don't cut in this direction, then your tool is going to cut inside. You have to go cutter comp to the right in this direction, outside the part, clockwise. All right. So let's move on to the next one. There comes your C-axis face contour, and that's we are using 100,000 radius mill. That is going to cut this around right here. The tool we are using is your radius mill. It has a 62,000. If you look at that blueprint, we have a 62,000. What did I see? This right here. We have a 62,000 radius all around the part on this profile, this periphery right there. That's just 62,000 radius over here. If you look at this drawing right here, that's 62,000 radius on this side. These are 62,000 radius I'm talking about. This 62,000 radius is right here. That's, and this guy on the ultra periphery. So if you see here, the tool radius we're going to pick, okay, so you're going to pick a radius mill, and this is the dimensions you guys are going to use. 62,000, that's your this radius right here, 62,000 radius. And we're going to go in the primary, we're going to go Z minus 62,000, and this radius is 62,000. It's going to cut 62,000 radiuses. So let me show you that tool path right here. And you're using the same geometry outside. Yeah, that's your radius tool. It's going to cut right there on this side. So if you're going to run this guy and this guy right there, you can see it, how it's going to cut that. There is your, see that radius right there? Let's cut that radius over here. If I'm going to go ahead and change this, no, change this color, you can see it. Oh my gosh, let's go and run it. Rough finish, another rough finish. And there comes your radius mill. And that's radius cutting mill, 62,000 radius right there. There we go. That's my radius right there. So you're selecting the same contour. So if you look at the parameters right here, you're cutting 100,000 radius. That's the tool we are using. So you go select library tool and you're going to say filter. And there is your radius mill. Where is it? Let's use center draw, spot draw. There is your radius mill right there. So that's the radius mill tool you have to select. If you don't see that corner radius, and then you can create your own, and you can create that tool. Right click, say create a tool, and you're going to pick a radius mill right here and go to next. And that's where you're going to say 62,000. Corner radius is going to be 0.0625, and cutting depth you can go, doesn't matter, 0.75, and tip diameter is going to be about 100,000 maybe. That's fine. And shoulder length is 75. Okay, shank 375. Shank diameter you can say 0.5, and shoulder length is okay, and cutting length is okay. Tip diameter is good. Radius is 62,000. Overall length is okay. Shank diameter we can go. Tip diameter radius. Yeah, that half an inch or 0.375. That's fine. Okay. So you can go next and you can put all this information. That's how you're going to create that tool, which is going to be this tool right here, the one we are using it. 100,000 radius mill. From the parameters now, if you go here, you say cutter comp, make sure you say cutter comp to the left. And under linking parameters, that's where you're going to put, you're going minus 62,000. So you're going to get that radius. So your depth in incremental, because you select that line from here, we're going to go 62,000 deep. On top of the stock is going to be 0 from here. And it's going to retract to 100,000. That's good. You regenerate and you see that toolpath like this. There. So if you look at here, it's going to offset. It's going to go 60,000 deep, and it's going to offset that. It's going to give you the radius, nice radius over here, 62,000. It's going to stay with 62,000, and it's going to give you this radius right there. If you look at here, it's going to cut like this. So that is going to be your C-axis face contour again. Looking at the right side view, your face contour is going to cut the radius just like that. There we are. Okay, then comes C-axis face contour, 250 flat end mill. That's going to cut the slots right here. If you look at here, these are the slots, the depth right there. We're going to cut these right here. These 4 corners. Let's cut this. So for this, we are using quarter-inch flat end mill, and let me show you the toolpath. Then we're going to go over the program. So here, this is how it's going to do. It's going to cut inside slot right there. No, this is going to be right here, flat end mill. It's going to cut this one here first. We are using gist geometry, cutter come to the left in this direction. And then we're going to use this geometry, then this, then this. Watch here. So we'll cut that. Cut that. Cut there. 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 So that's your face contour. So the geometry, you're going to pick those 8 chains. These are the chains you're going to pick. I'm going to show you cutter comp to the left. So chain 2, chain 3, chain 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And this is going to be a chain face contour using quarter-inch flat end mill. And here, if you look at the linking parameters, you're going the depth. We're going, the depth is 250 to 97. It's not the right depth. Okay, let's go and run it. It's going to cut that. So the parameters, this depth in incremental is not 62. If you go 297, it's only 37,000 deep. Look at that, the depth. See, this is 250 here. Overall is 297. So 47,000 is depth. It's only 40,000. Not 62, 47,000. Minus 47,000 depth. So if you're gonna run this, you can see that how this works. Watch here. It's gonna cut that. It's cutting on the corners, but don't worry about this geometry. This will be fine. See that? That's how it's going to cut. And we have drawn this line, if you remember. Now we're going to program this line so it will take care of this, the extra material left over here. So if I'm going to run that part up to operation number 10, so start with 1 and go shift with 10, and we can see how this works. Okay, return, finish, drill is gonna bore, finish. Okay, drill those holes, center drill, face drill. Face contour. Okay, there comes your radius tool on this. So look at the radius and mill. 62,000 radius. There we are. Then it's gonna cut that slots. There you go. So now the last tool path is going to take care of whatever left over here, this material. So we're going to use 4-inch end mill, use these lines right here, the one we have drawn, these lines right there. These lines, we're going to use this. So going back to tool path number 10, for your face contour, 4-inch end mill. So this is what you do, guys. You go face contour, and you're going to pick single, and you're going to start from here. Going this way, cutter comp to the left, chain 2, this is my chain 2, chain 3 coming down this way, chain 4 going up, the cutter comp to the left, chain 5 cutter comp to the left again. So go this direction, this is cutter comp to the left, go up, this is cutter comp to the left, go down, this is cutter comp to the left, go up. That's what you have to select that, and hit OK and chain and OK. And you're going to use your tool, which is going to be your 4-inch end mill. Cut parameters, cutter comp is going to be to the left. That's good. Linking parameter, we are going minus 0.047 or 43, 97, 47. 47,000 deep in absolute, or you can incremental, doesn't matter. You can go incremental. And retract, top of the stock is 0, good, good, right there. So that's my tool path. Make sure, okay, this is your lead in and lead out. Turn that off, please. We can go and turn the lead in and lead out. Cut parameters. Here comes my lead and lead out, turn that off. That's good enough. So it's gonna come like this, cut that. Are we cutting multiple passes? That is not correct. Okay, that's good. That's even better. It's cut it the whole thing, 1/4 inch end mill. Yeah. So if you're gonna run that, and the last tool path, what is gonna do? This is gonna just cut that lines. Look at the geometry. That is your chain outside. No, this guy. It's gonna look at the geometry. There's a 4 chains. So we're gonna select these 4 chains, and that's all it's gonna do. It's gonna just cut the leftover in the middle. Oh, 250 grooving, 250 chain 1, 8 chain 4 right there. It's gonna go like this. Cut that, and just cut that, and just cut that. And that finishes it. And this is going to be your cutoff over here, so we don't need this. I'm going to delete that, and we don't delete this one also. If you select all the toolpath, okay, face it, OD rough, OD finish, drill, and bore.
Is that a tool collision?
That is, it shows into red, right? I think that is, doesn't look like it. Okay. And it's going to finish right there. So if I'm going to change the wireframe, that's my finished part. I mean, it's just making radius. It's not a tool collision. It's good. This depth, remember I've changed the depth to 47,000. Make sure you guys change the depth on this one, the same depth, 47,000. Over here, you see the step. We're going to change the depth. Let's change the depth on that toolpath. C-axis face contour for change parameter. Go to linking parameter. The depth is minus 0.047. Select all. Paste it. Counter bore. Oh, there's not any tool collision. It just shows you cutting a radius. Finish it. And there's your parting tool. Yeah, that's your depth. There we go. So that's what you guys have to do for this part. And this is a project we machine in 186 class. On our next class, I'm offering in fall. CNC 186 advanced lathe class. We machine this part on our C-axis. We use the same program. We mill this part, turn this part, turn and mill on our C-axis. So that's what you guys have to do on this part. Let me go ahead and pause the recording. So on drill, like I said, I'm using just 205 drill. If you guys want to add just center drill here, you can add center drill. So we have drawn this part on Z0, and the depth we are compensating in the parameters under linking parameters. Look at that, that's my depth right here. So you can go 358, you can go 400,000, because our part thickness is only 297. So your depth, you can go further out. That's what we did. We went 358. So we are maintaining the depth. We have drawn the geometry on Z0, but we are maintaining the depth in the parameters on all the toolpath, on all the operations in absolute or incremental in this case. So that is gonna drill that. It's gonna drill that other one. That's your C-axis face drill. There you go. So that's your C-axis face drill right there. Just pick the center points and that's it. There you are. We use number 5 drill. Cut parameters, chip break, adjust your drill and contour bore. That's your depth right here. Top of the stock is absolute 0. Retract absolute 100,000. Depth you can go in tacking. And there is your toolpath. That's your C-axis face drill. There you go. So this is what you guys have to do on this part. You can go ahead and